Just going to show you what I've been doing the last couple of days. Come on in. So, it's been a little bit hard to conceptualise for some. I've done the SketchUp sort of layout, and I thought I had it pretty nailed based on the spec drawings that I got off the internet. But even after all that, when it came to the reality, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. You know, the space filled up very damn quick. So, let me run through what we got. So, it's going to be kitchen at the front door style, very, very popular. And I've got a fold-up bench here, but that could also be a lagoon table. Oh, the reason why we're doing that is because I've got two captain's chairs there, spun around, which I highly recommend. I reckon they're an awesome way of adding space. So we can sit at the captain's chairs, sorry about all the and fold up table for Megan and her laptop work, or for extending the working area of the bench. Now I may go from a flip up to a lagoon type clip-in pivot table, and that might be a better option. From the driver's seat here, I've got a little sort of seat nook. Now in my drawings that was way longer, so I don't know how I stuffed that up, but it's just big enough to sit on there and maybe cross one leg and that sort of thing. But I'll have a lagoon table here, or this flip up style, and it might be a trifold or a double fold leaf type one to make it bigger. But that goes out of the way. There's enough room for two people to have their feet down in there, and you can sit there. Now I'm going to make it so that that can be removed, because there is further down the track, you know, grandkids, all that sort of stuff, mates going on adventures, that I might want to remove that and get a compliant seatbelt type chair put in that spot there, so three people can travel safely. So with that there, I don't want an overhead cupboard here, just in case I'm getting up and I crack my head on the corner. Likewise for the person down there. So that really just leaves me three cupboards. I've got a, you'll see here, I've got quite a big fridge. I've got a 150 Vitrifrugo, if that's how you say it, fridge, and going in this space. And I've also got a gun safe going in. Now it's not to hold guns, but it is to hold valuables, and I'm also going to have it as a charging port for cameras, drones, you know, GoPros. So it'll be a metal cabinet that has a little bit more security and flammability protection for all the charging of lithium batteries and all that sort of stuff that goes in there. So it's going to go actually on this side here, and the fridge on that side. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is the gun safe. It'll give a little nook in here, a little recess, because it's only 30 centimeters deep. So there'll be a 35 centimeter recess in there, and that could be for a little bookshelf. It may even be where the telemetry and power gauges and all the water readouts and everything might be tucked in there. So that's what that is. Might have a mesh net to stop things falling out, such as books, I don't know. But that's there. But it also means that if I get a bonded window in here, it'll actually make use of the full glass window. So that would be nice as well. Whereas if the fridge was there, a third of the window would be gone. So that's no good. So yeah, gun safe there. The other reason why the gun safe's going on this side and the fridge on that side is because, let's wander up the galley. Okay, you're now in the bedroom. But the Vitrifrugo 150 has, I've lifted it up so it's up higher so you don't have to bend down as much. And also with my line of work, I often have long items which I need to find a spot for. So they will go in under the fridge, and I'll have plenty of cavity. The way the fridge is configured, it's got a cutout in the back for the compressor, so I'll be able to slide or conduit all the power that is coming off the power system, which is going to be here underneath a long bench seat. So the bench seat will come up, go across here, that'll hold the lithium, all the Enerdrive equipment going in there. So that's where that's going. Yeah, so that's the fridge and gun safe and overhead cupboard situation there. And on the actual galley side, what we're going to do is have a couple of flip up lids probably for the overhead cabinets, and sink, floor waste, which is right on the edge of the cabinet. I may have to bring it out a little bit, and I may have to leave a gap in the 80-20 or 30 by 30 extrusion that I'm going to be using. Induction cooktop, really small work area, hence the flip up lid, flip up bench, or the lagoon table, which can be at any height and pivot round. Now, to get a little bit more bench space, this will fold down. This is a splashback, and the reason why I need the splashback, or the wall, whether it was going to be a wall or not, I need the splashback because our bed's going to be here, and it's a permanently set up bed. So, to protect it from getting Vegemite and everything else onto the sheets, a splashback that is functional in that it can fold down, and it'll have a little fence around it so your breadcrumbs don't end up in your bed as well. The tapware is not going there, but more probably in the center here, and the reason for that is it can pivot this way anyway, but I want it to be able to pivot outside. It'll be one of those on a hose type one, so if you want to have a quick and dirty shower, you can do it out there under the awning or whatever. There is also going to be a shower from the back of the van as well, so that's why the tapware is going to go between the cooktop and the sink, more than likely. It can't go right on the back because you've also got your extrusion structure there around the perimeter, so it'll have to be there. But it's not a bad idea, because doing up tapware and all that sort of stuff is always hard when it's actually behind a sink tub. So having it in between or on the side of the sink is not a bad thing. There'll be a HEPO valve, or whatever you're going to call it, so a one-way valve for the waste going into the grey tank. Okay, so that's how it is there. What else can I say? Drawers, cupboards, standard, and moving into the back. So there's a good view. There's a good view. Here's a better view. So we're going to have the power system up there, which will be a long bench seat, a whole lot of magnetic panels that you can easily access, and then on this side will be, on the left hand side there will be a 95 litre tank from Atlas Tanks, and that will be in front of the wheel arch. But there may be another one from RV Tanks Australia, which is a 55 litre tank that goes over and stops on top of the wheel arch. So that'll give us well and truly enough water, we hope. In the centre there you'll see that there's a blue taped out section. That's going to be a low profile heavy duty drawer using some Titan drawer runners that have a rating of 227 pounds, I think it is. I can't remember, pounds or kilos. And that will be a drawer that will hold the one-day e-bikes and also my equipment for work, and act as a workbench out the back of the van. Either side of those drawers is some load rail, and also at the end of near the kitchen galley there, running crossways, is also another piece of load rail for tying down the motorbike and other heavy moving equipment. So yeah, that's what's happening in the back. What I haven't mentioned is that the bed is a Euro loft styled lift bed, so that will wind up to the ceiling and will give around about 1500 mil space underneath it. So yeah, cool. Now the cardboard thing was an afterthought. Actually, it was a spontaneous thought. I've seen it done before. I mean, there's another really popular YouTuber, Humble Road, and he does a super impressive cardboard mock-up of his vans before he gets the client to come in and have a look. And they're almost ready to go driving and camping. They're so good. So at the very last minute one night, I was a bit stuck for extra things to do, so I started hacking up some cardboard and got carried away. But having done so, I think it's a really important step actually in doing a cardboard mock-up to get that spatial feel for how much room you've got to swing your elbows, bend over and open things, or just the, you know, how much claustrophobia it might feel, you know, because you could go along and you could go, well, I don't want to waste this space, I want to build these cupboards out here flush with the fridge and the gun safe cabinet, and you know, make use of nice deep cupboards. But when you come into here and you've got the kitchen cabinet right there, and then if you were to have the other ones going right there, it would really feel boxed in. So you know, by doing the cardboard thing, you do nut out a few things. So you know, I was thinking that I would have flip up lids on all of these, but with this bench here, this shelf, it means that I can't really have a flip up, because if let's say I've got a nice little pot plant here, or I don't know, I'm resting something there, camera equipment, if I have a flip up lid, I've got to move everything off that shelf to flip it up. So that dictated, I need to have sliders on these two here. Okay, so cardboard identified that thing. It helped me realize where my long item point would be. You know, I had envisaged it was actually over there a little bit in that section, but once I started measuring things out and bringing things out, I realized it had to go there. So it just gives you, and probably more importantly, it gives you know, your partner, Megan, an idea of how things are all going to fit together. So start collecting cardboard if you haven't. As you can see, this is from IKEA, and it's a sofa bed. So you know, start picking up your cardboard. I didn't have enough, and I thought I had heaps. So pick it up, look after it, keep it flat, and it will become very handy for doing this sort of thing. I'm 6'1". Anyone that's sort of 6 foot or getting close to that has probably looked at an aftermarket kit called Flare Space. Sorry about the cut. Flare Space, which is a fiberglass molding that is put onto the outside of your van where your bed would be, and enables you to sleep sideways across the van. And if you're tall, they're perfect, they're great, and they're only made for sprinters, and I've often wondered why. Well, now I have a crafter and I know why. It's because on the Sprinter you don't have one of these structural beams over the wheel well that would interfere where your heads would be. So the back door's here, someone's head's here, the other person's head literally has to go on the other side of this beam. This beam is a marriage breaker. Really is. It's going to be in between you. Ordinarily, you could, on a Sprinter, you could put a Flare Space kit on here, and that's not there, and you get another 4 inches pretty much at both ends. It's not quite that, but somewhere in that order, which gives you heaps more space. Hence the name Flare Space. Can't be done on a crafter. I was actually going to make a kit that would do it. here in Australia. But now I know why it's not done, because of these structural beams, which is a real deal breaker for some people, because that limits your sleeping options. It means you have to sleep long ways, and that just encroaches so much on the rest of the van space. It literally brings it to half your van gone in a bed. So here is where my bed's going to be, okay? And then I'm going to have a bit over 500mm fridge and cabinet, and then I'm going to have a gun safe, which is another 30 centimeters. And the gun safe's not for guns. And then we were hoping to have something like a almost a small little lounge, but now that lounge has turned into basically a seat from here, from this point here to about there. Because we've got the captain's chairs which swivel around, you need to have a spot to put your legs and your feet, and especially if you want to have someone sitting facing you. So this seat is now, well, this couch is now a seat, a small bench seat, not much more. And it's all because of this inability to extend out as you would in a Sprinter with a flare space kit. I'm really disappointed in that, and I should have picked it up when I was ordering it. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it for tall people, it does limit your options as to what you can do.